discipline comes so easy once you actually start understanding things and facts about your brain. So we're just used to that whatever our mind tells us is true, and we never really doubt the voice inside of our head. We always think whatever thoughts we think of those thoughts to hold some value. But the truth is, the only thing that makes a thought valuable is your attention and your energy. Other than that, it's just a thought. When you see the clouds taking up the sky and the sky is covered with the clouds, that does not mean that the sky is the clouds. It just means it's covered, it's fogged with the clouds, but the sky is the witness. The thoughts, the clouds come and go. It's what you decide to give energy to is going to expand. So once you realize that the only thing that has been stopping you from becoming who you really want to be is no one else but yourself. Your mind is basically wired for comfort. It's wired for the familiar. It wants to keep repeating what it knows. So when it does not know the outcome to something, when it feels like it has no control over a situation, it tries to keep you safe from the unknown, from the unfamiliar, because it hasn't done it yet. And once you actually realize that it's just the brain that's wired that way to keep you in survival and in comfort, you understand and you go beyond the brain, you go beyond your mind, you go beyond this inner voice that's telling you or keeping you confused between to do it or to not do it. And once you take action without listening to your own mind, once you get into the habit of taking action regardless of how your mind is trying to stop you from doing so. For example, if you're a person who's ever tried to wake up early in the morning and you set an alarm for, let's say, 6 a.m., and when it's 6 a.m. and the alarm is ringing, your mind is going to tell you to snooze it for just 5 more minutes. And at that point, you're going to be like, okay, it's just 5 more minutes, but it's so smart that it just tells you 5 minutes. It does not tell you to sleep for 2 more hours. And you just snooze it, and then you end up waking up after 4 hours or at 9:30 a.m., whatever. And you realize that if you are going to always give the mind a choice to do it or to not do it, it's going to keep you comfortable in that very point of time. It's going to choose comfort over the discomfort always. And that is the only thing that actually stops you from evolving and stops you from growing, because you are choosing comfort. You're choosing I'm not saying to not complete your sleep cycle, but I'm just talking about literally the fact that your brain is literally designed like that. Get your beauty sleep always. But if you want to start, for example, waking up early, you have to get realistic. Actually, you have to stay realistic in the way that you can take small actions on an everyday basis. Long term, I would say be as delusional as possible. But when it comes to taking actions, you stay realistic with what you can add in your everyday life to get closer to this woman that you want to become, or even a man that you want to become. So you really start to add these everyday habits in your current life. For example, how does she dress up? How does she move on an everyday basis? What does this woman actually feel about herself? What way does she think about life? Does she think life is abundant? Does she think life brings her everything she needs at ease? But also, it's about becoming that person. It's not about thinking about that person. It's actually about becoming that person who thinks that way about life. So once you start to do these habits, your brain literally starts to adopt new belief systems. Your mind gets, like, the old gets replaced with the new, because you're giving your attention to the new. You're giving your attention to what you want to grow, and you're not leaking your energy everywhere else. You're actually pouring into yourself, and you're doing it from a place of not just grinding or to be disciplined in a way where you feel extremely shitty about your life, but you're still doing it anyway. It's not about that. It's really about becoming a better version of yourself that actually nourishes you, that actually gives you energy, that fills you up with energy, and it fills you up with purpose, and you get closer to your highest self when you do these habits. It's like when you start taking action, your mind is initially going to try to stop you from doing that, because it's obviously scared of the unknown. It does not know what is yet to come. So it's going to stop you from going there, because it tries to basically keep you doing the same habit that you are at your current life with, because it knows that, it's familiar with that, so it wants to keep you safe in that. But when you start to take action and actually show your brain that you can do something, once you take the action, it starts to now believe in you, because you're giving it evidence. You're showing this to yourself. You're showing up for yourself. You're doing these things that actually nourish you and give you energy, and that make you feel like a completely different person. So now the mind is going to adapt these new beliefs, adapt this new vision on life, where being disciplined is not really about doing something. It's just the kind of person you end up becoming. And it is literally that simple. Like, one action towards whoever you want to be, just one new mindset shift, even something as small as the way you talk about yourself, how you see the world, how you think about friendships, relationships, money, whatever it is. It's like you start to really see life from a more abundant perspective. And then discipline is just something that is a part of your lifestyle. It's who you've become, not really something that you're trying to be. Now you've become that. You know how they say when you're trying to sleep, the best thing to do is try to act like you're falling asleep. And that's the key to everything. It's about literally influencing your own mind and knowing that it's like a baby. Like you can teach its new ways. It's just doing whatever it's doing because you have trained it in that way. You have given it that information, whether done consciously or unconsciously. So you realize discipline is not something outside of you. It's literally the person you become.